Can we bring them in here to get treatment? Yes. Do we have such plans? Yes, we do. How are we doing it? By, like I said, restructuring the healthcare system and getting people to know that healthcare is not equal to hospitals. That is a system. That we have the advantage of having over 1,000, almost 2,000 doctors in Edo. Many of them are in federal institutions and private practice and state institutions. When we create a system where all of them can be put to use, they can, it wouldn't really matter because everybody who goes to receive treatment has health insurance, can pay or has the ability to pay, and therefore it's clear that the healthcare system can be properly funded. Those are all the things we're doing to make sure that Edo becomes a tourism hub, in addition to us having electricity to power our hospitals. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. We'll go back to the Zoom hands that are up as well. I think Uncle Sonny Rabo, you have some people whose hands you say have been up. You are unmuted, sir.
Okay, thank you. I have two names. Let me just quickly get the names. First one is Uncle Greg Ogbefun. I think he has something to say, and especially it sounds more like an answer, but maybe it's also a question. Uncle Greg Ogbefun, sir. If you unmute him.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a question. I was invited to make a comment on the proposed port in Edo State, which His Excellency has as one of his legacy projects. I want to thank the organizers of this program because it's a very apt platform for enlightening people, particularly those who are not at home. The port project has been in the radar of past administrations for some time, but it has taken His Excellency Governor Obaseki to actually take practical steps to bring it into realization. He started by setting up a technical committee, which I was privileged to be part of, to carry out a viability study of building the Gelegele port. We spent about 7-8 months doing our study and our work. In the end, some of the summaries was the fact that the port in the original Gelegele, as we all know historically, will not be commercially and even technically viable. So it became necessary to relocate the port nearer the Benin River, about 49 nautical miles from the Atlantic Ocean. So that's what we're working on. In terms of accomplishments, the immediate past committee that worked on the project has gotten to a point where they were able to identify the preferred transaction advisor. It's an international company with headquarters in Canada and in consortium with another company in Holland. So we are engaging them now in negotiations and finalization. So by the first week in January, it's expected that an agreement will be signed with the transaction advisors, whose job is to work with us from inception to actual commissioning. And this is expected to take about 24 to 30 months. Amongst the things they'll be doing with us is to obviously review all the legacy work that has been done by different people in the past, come up with an apt design of a port that meets the state's needs. You know, as it is now, those is landlocked. So the moment we're able to open up the state to the sea and global trade, then the fortunes of our economy definitely is going to turn around. So we're working very hard to see how we can get this team off as early as possible in the new year. Now, amongst the things they're going to be doing will be to competitively identify the engineering, procurement, and construction company that will carry out the actual construction. And that is going to be done through a competitive bid. And more importantly, the transaction advisor also have shown competence and capability and track record of being able to structure the funding as well as source the debt and equity to fund that project, with the state contributing a minimal equity. So we are hopeful that with the pace at which we are going, we should be able to get this accomplished in the course of the governor's second term. So Edo should remain very hopeful that the Benin City River Port is going to be a reality in the course of the governor's term. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. As Uncle Sonny Rabo, do you still have a name to call? I'm sure you do. If it's muted, can we unmute him, please?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I hope this accident will not keep happening to Sonny Rabo. I have Mr. Israel Wekbe, who's next. Please, you have your 90 seconds. Go ahead.
Your Excellency, I'm really very, very excited to be in this forum. My question is, goes like this. The creative economy is substantially powered by young people. But critical to this sector is the need for capacity building to enable the acquisition of skills and competencies. I reckon too that there's a correlation between the academia, education, and practical training. Now, might I ask what your administration's position is in this regard, taking into consideration really the seeming lack of clarity presently? I say this with every sense of seriousness and responsibility, because when we talk about cultism and all of that, you know, young persons need to be engaged as it were. So in this area of creative economy, education, capacity building, and skills and competencies, what's the administration's position in this regard? Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much for a very good question. Let me just make this general observation that as a government, we have come to the realization that the real issue with us is not the lack of ideas. There's nothing new that has not been said or discussed in the past. What is lacking is the capacity to execute whatever you've decided on, to just make it happen. And that's the standpoint from which we want to engage, to say, yes, what about this? How can it work? How can you make it happen? And we're saying in doing so, it has to be a mutual responsibility. It cannot be government alone. It's, both the, government is just a catalyst. Will create the enabling environment to make it happen. The thinking and perhaps the initial groundwork. That's our role. In the area of the creatives, it's one area we know first, it's innate, it's just natural to us. It's natural to Edo people are very, very innovative and creative people. So for us as government, how do we support? It's to create the enabling environment for people to be able to do what they know how to do best, but in a creative space. What do you need? You need, like you say, capacity building. So we're working with the German government, the GIZ, who just gave, I think, about in excess of $500,000, and we had to match it with our own funds. And the Observer premises, as we speak, I just connected it to Osiomo Power. And we, just like we have in the production hub, we're creating, we're building a hub for the innovatives. So you have 24/7 electricity, you have spaces where people can come in with their finishing equipments, you know, to finish music, whether it's the films, whatever it is, you know, that premises is being made ready as we speak. I went to inspect it about 2 weeks ago, and I hope that before the end of the first quarter next year, you will have studios, you will have cameras, you will have mixers, you will have all the things that you need to finish. And hopefully classes will be run, and you know, things instructions will be given, and training will be given to people who are already in that industry or aspiring to be. I like the idea of a business Zoom meeting, and I think it's something, Lamte, we should put together so that, you know, yes, beyond this sort of general meetings, we want to sit and I say, look, these are the opportunities I'm looking for investment in this area is very, very specific. In the healthcare area, and we want to partner with people to build new mortuaries. I want to do this. This is the cash flow we expect. You know, I want to be able to do specific, you know, transactional meetings via Zoom. I hope we can organize this maybe quarterly. Somebody asked about the plans for children. I think for us as a government, it's all about about them, the next generation. And that's why we're investing so much in education. I mean, the biggest gifts you can give to a child, the greatest gift is education, very good quality education. And we're investing in our school systems. I want to use this opportunity to thank the chairman of SUBEB, one of you, Joan of Yahweh. The amount of work that they're doing for these children is just unbelievable. God will continue to reward you. So the person who's been asking me to talk about the plans, it's about them, it's about their healthcare, it's about health, it's about their training, it's about their protection. So that's a lot of people have put questions about roads. You know, what I want to tell you is that I went through all the 192 wards in Edo State. So there is no community, there's no local government, no community, no ward. I do not know what the road request is. I have them. It's a pile. So we will not be able to deal with all of them, but the important thing is to plan for them. Deal with the ones you can deal with now and have a plan for those you are not able to cover. So what we've done is we've just finished the process of hiring a team, an international team, to come and help us with our regional and urban plan. That is what I am concluding now. And that is another legacy we must leave for Edo. We will not be able to build all the roads. However, we should be able to tell you when your road will be built, given the resources we have, we expect to earn, and the priorities that we have as a state. So I've heard all of you. I've seen all your requests, and I want to tell you they're in, but we're putting them in a planning process. We're going to put the plan, design them, and then see how we can fund them. But realistically, we will not be able to fund all our roads in a 4-year time frame.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you so much. I've got two persons here, Sele Okogo and Roland Omorodion. They have questions. Please, can we unmute them? Sele Okogo should go first. Sele or Kelly? Can we unmute them if they're in the house? Then can we unmute Roland Omorodion, please? If Mr. Okogo is not there.
Roland Omorodion, I'm trying to.
I can find both. Roland,
I think he's probably left the house.
And Kelly.
Okay,
exactly, and Kelly as well.
Okay,
I can
move on
find
to
any
the
of them.
next ones.
Okay, please. Can we find Alexander Edionwe, please? Alexander Edionwe and Gladys
Alexander
Williams. Let's
Edionwe.
unmute them, please.
Okay, Alexander Edionwe can unmute himself. I think I've just asked him to unmute. He can go ahead. Alex, please. Try to unmute yourself. Speak.
Yeah, I can do fine. Thank you. Yes, I really don't have any question, but I would like to introduce myself so you know the angle I'm coming from, Your Excellency. My name is Professor Alexander Idionwe. I'm the President and CEO of ALPA International Group LLC here in the US, and also we have ALPA Global Concept Company registered in Nigeria. Our area is we are into food production, and we are ready to assist and contribute our quota in developing agriculture and agribusiness in Edo State, and also generating jobs. With the time limit I have, what I really am interested in is this. It's my intention to seek your audience in terms of strategizing how we can customize or tailor agriculture and agribusiness revitalization initiative that we have for Edo and in Edo State, which we also intend to use as template to use in other parts of Nigeria. I will go in detail with in this area later on if we are able to connect. Also to let you know that we are already present in—
I will have to interject here, sir. With all due respect, I think the points you've made are very salient points, and I want to assure you that we will follow up with you, and you heard the Excellency, His Excellency said earlier that you will look forward to a time where we shall hold a business Zoom meeting. I'm sure the points you are raising right now will be very relevant at that point. And because of what we are doing right now, which we need to fulfill, as it were, I will want to move to the next person to ask his question. His or her question. Of course, I equally have here Gladys William. Please, can we unmute Gladys William? And we'll follow up on Alexander Idionwe.
Gladys, you can speak. You can unmute yourself, Gladys.
Yeah.
Let's be reminded that you have just 90 seconds.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I will say I'm very pleased to be among every one of you here. And thank you, Your Excellency, for having me here and for having you here too. Your Excellency, I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you for your acknowledged letter that you sent to every one of us, and those who have received and those who are yet not to receive, we all say thank you. We were overwhelmed to receive such letter from you. It make us feel blessed. It make us have more confidence, have more courage to support you more and more and more. And I want to also say thank you for the ongoing project in Edo State and the one on Jet to Do. May God Almighty continue to lead you and strengthen you in good health and wisdom. That is all I have to say, Your Excellency. And congratulations once again. We're there here for you, no shaking.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so so much. I want to quickly call on Dr. Loretta Agboko to quickly call the next group of names to ask their questions, please. Dr. Loretta.
We have with who his hand has been up. Festus Ogbewi. Festus, can he be unmuted, please?
Festus, you can unmute yourself.
Festus Ogbewi, please. And Lucky Asenogwan, please get ready. Your hand has been up.
Excellency.
Festus, you're unmuted. Can you please go on?
Yes, I'm already.
Why Lucky Asenogwan gets ready?
Good evening, Your Excellency. I want to use this opportunity once again to congratulate you for your re-election. My names are Festus Ogbewi. I am the convener of Togba movement in Germany. Actually, most of my questions has been answered already by you. And that name that was given to you, Wait and See Governor, is actually playing out. Thank you very much. We do expect a lot from you. And we are believing as well that you will deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Festus. Asenogwan, are we ready with you?
Yes, I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lucky Asenogwan. I congratulate you, my Excellency Governor. My question today is that you have already raised the point that old things are passed away. I would like to ask those markets that was burned, if you award it, are they going to put a provision of fire service? Like even though it's not a vehicle, as in they have to put the fire extinguisher on the market and on the police station too. Are those provisions is going to be made for the rebuild of the burnt market and the burnt police station? That is my question.
Excellent. And we have, thank you very much, sir. We have Joseph Ogieho. Can he please take his question in 90 seconds, please?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, His Excellency Governor Noriega Obaseki. Thank you for finding time to come to us this evening. I'll go straight to my question. I was a security officer and I live here in London, and I want to come in terms of the security situation in Edo State. Just as you have rightly said, you as the governor cannot do everything and you need the help of us in diaspora. So I want to come in terms of security, because the way I see the security in Edo State is not working the way it should be. If you will permit me to share my expertise with you or to help build the security apparatus in Edo State, I think I will be very happy and I will be glad to join you. This is my license, so to prove to you that I'm a security officer. So it's being renewed every year, but I stopped renewing it because I'm not using it. So if you want me to come, or if you want me to share my expertise with you, because the way I come home every year, twice a year, but I stopped coming because the security is not working. So I really, if you want it to work, and I'm willing to support you, and I'm willing to help you to make it work. So
Thank you, sir.
So those in diaspora can be happy to come home.
Thank you, sir. I think those all across the world are just like you, wanting to key in. So before His Excellency takes this, I'll just add on 2 charts. One is a very practical one. Edo Dynasty Worldwide, they are saying they sent a representative to this college of, so the technical college yesterday, and that they were told that the places people get to do their practicals, it's outside of the technical college. So Edo Dynasty Worldwide wants to know why this is happening. And they're also asking what is happening at Egualo. There's supposed to be a technical college there because they believe that upgrading the technical schools is the key to a better and vibrant economy. Then someone is saying, sir, that in order for the government to save money, he saw you at the School of Nursing and he saw you wanting to revamp the place, which is a very good idea. But he's saying that once you revamp the place and you build the hostels, can you please charge the students a fair amount? If not too much, but something so that at least the government can make some money back to put into some other things still within the nursing school. And this is Nosa Urbano from the US. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for all the great questions you've asked. I don't want to keep you much longer, so I'll just attempt to answer all the questions as briefly as I can. I want to start by once again extending my profound appreciation to all of you who've come out to support our administration. Many of you on your own cost flew in to attend the inauguration ceremonies. We really do appreciate and thank you immensely. We had to keep the ceremonies low-key because of what is going on, with security and COVID-19. So we apologize that we couldn't have the kind of big splash that people thought was required. But nonetheless, I want to, put it on record that all of you without exception, we're just unbelievable in terms of your response, your prayers, your good wishes, your goodwill. That's the energy, that's the oxygen we need to keep us going. And we will, with God on our side, continue to do our best for our people. Let me just talk about teachers. I'm going to do a mix between the questions asked and the ones I'm seeing in the chat room. Teachers, yes, we are currently hiring teachers. But we call it a fellowship, the teacher fellowship. So we're hiring teachers who will train for 3 years before absorbing them into the Edo State Civil Service. And what we're doing is we're hiring them in their locations because we noticed that we've been having problems with posting teachers. You'll find some areas where you have excess teachers and many areas you have you don't have enough. So what we've done is we've gone through we've gone through to see where the distribution of teachers, and we started this project where we will be hiring up to 3,000 teachers, but we will be hiring them in their communities, and particularly where there is shortage. We're battling, to make sure that people do the right things. Yes, you don't have a job, you're in Benin, you want to teach because you're from a particular community. I'm not going to employ you in Benin, except you're in that community and the community leaders endorse and tell us that you really live there. We will not employ you, as a teacher. So we're employing teachers and the process is on, and hopefully by the beginning of February, we'll announce and we'll begin to pay them. And for agriculture, we've done a lot in agri. So I thank the young man who talked about his interests. Interestingly, we have some Americans. People who are in the diaspora who live, who are currently farming and partnering with us in the agricultural projects we're currently undertaking in Edo. I have at least 5 of them, and they come in and out, and some of them are doing well. And so we just encourage you to join. We don't want to talk anymore about these things. We just want to do it. If you're ready to come and take the risks, get on a plane, come here, we'll show you the opportunities. And our role is to try and reduce the risk for you. Our government is not a farmer and cannot be a good farmer. So we're not even going to, but we'll create an enabling environment for you to farm. Yes, we're looking at crops. The crops will have a competitive advantage in, like oil palm, cassava, rice. By the way, most of the rice we're consuming this Christmas in Edo State, with government is buying, we're all grown in Edo this season. So I'm happy to tell you that we have Edo rice. We would have had more, but for the flooding flooding of some of the farms. But we're going back to encourage people to grow rice this dry season. You talked about the technical schools and the placement of students in technical schools. In fact, we're going through an exercise now where we are trying to geolocate not everybody everybody who has a technical business. The children need to be apprenticed. You can't do everything theoretical in class. So that's why if you are, you are into welding, for instance, fabrication. After you've do, we're building capacity to respond. Lastly, someone talked about expertise and water in Eastern Land. Well, for water, I'm just too happy to announce to you that the Water Works in Iboha has started working. Reticulation to Uromi is ongoing. The meters are being given out, and water has started flowing in the taps in some areas. We will continue to expand. The biggest issue we have with water is electricity. Because if you have to use diesel generators to pump at those water stations, then the costs of delivering the water will be very high. So we're looking at alternative options to try and reduce the cost of pumping water from the pumping stations. I am sure that I have attempted to answer as many questions as possible. If I haven't answered, because it's not humanly possible to answer all of them. But I think the key message is to leave behind that first. As a government, we just want to do. I have less than 4 years left to complete my term. So I don't have the patience and time to be debating and discussing options. The time we have is how to execute on the options we have already decided on. We will not be able to do everything we have, but what we will do, we will leave a plan to the people. Because they got in there by the contributions or support of a few people does not mean they'll go in there and work for just a small clique of people. Look at the number of people who voted for me to become governor. I mean, we should. For me, we sold the idea that we're going to work for our people. We're not going to work for individuals. So I've had the bashing from family, from friends that I haven't helped, but it's part of it. Look at, I mean, the oath I swore to. My oath didn't say I must take care of my friends and my family first before taking care of the people of Edo State. By taking care of the people of Edo State, my family and friends will benefit. And that's what it should be. And I want to thank you very much for your continued support, and I just assure you that the goodwill, the good wishes, the prayers from you is the oxygen that just keeps us going. And just please don't relent, keep praying for us, keep advising us, keep supporting us. And by the grace of God, we will make Edo. Very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Before you go, I think Uncle Sonny wants to bring someone in to also thank you from the angle of your people. So Uncle Sonny, are you there, please? Yes.
Please, can we unmute him, please?
Yes, he's unmuted. Uncle Sonny, please.
Your Excellency, sir, allow me to invite Ambassador Becky Waifo, all the way from Tanzania, who will give the vote of thanks. He's been watching and listening carefully. Ambassador Waifo, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Ambassador Matthew Biki Waifo from Tanzania. I want to, first of all, very wholeheartedly thank you, Your Excellency, for this kind of community engagement with all people of Edo State and friends of Edo State, including those that didn't vote for you. The fact that you have taken time to address everybody from the low, the good, the bad, and the ugly, this trait in you is what makes all of us say that you are the governor of all of us. We are all in this first series of that the court cases are warranted storms in teacups initiated to cause distractions to positive governance and the type of rebirth which Edo State require right now and has never had before. So let us all not fall into the trap of losing the mega vision. We must stick together